Tonight on News 5 Live, the BSCFA is yet to sign a new agreement with BSI despite accepting the terms of a new 2-year contract. We'll tell you what's the holdup in moving forward with the document. The United Democratic Party goes hard on the Briceño administration amid the latest sugar crisis. A new firearms board is constituted, and the People's Democratic Movement introduces its municipal slate. These stories and more coming up on News 5 Live.
Yes, I give her 50 times ending, now me have to pay.
Where you going, bruh? The who they stress you out again, Namule?
Boy, I don't believe at the fool again.
Again?
But I mess up this time for real, for real. I don't really want to know.
Yes.
I want here.
Can't make it a big deal.
We know
Sean,
what that.
I know how you going now.
Oh, man.
You really want to know.
Yeah?
Take my plan, and I give her. I take my plan and put it in a she name.
Wait, so tell me something. You still pay for this plan?
Oh, yeah. But hear this.
This plan, I can't left this plan. Smart Belize. This plan, I can't left this plan, yeah. This plan, I can't left this plan. Postpaid plan. This plan, I can't left this plan. With Smart Belize, it's unlimited data. Smart choice plan can light up your day. Postpaid with eSIM, make everything better. Just visit Smart showrooms today. Boom! I can't left this plan. I can't left this plan. Can't left this plan. I can't left this plan. Affordable for everyone. I can't left this plan. The postpaid plan, cause the data really strong. You know why? Listen, for the best post and prepaid. You know that Smart got you back.
My bad. Wrong commercial.
She could left me for another man. The truth, once I have my plan, once I have my Smart Plus plan, I no worry cause the data strong. I know when the bleed, that's all I need. And you could tell me where you are, but I never left this plan. Smart have the best services. We postpaid plan have everything, so you could talk and text unlimited. Come set up your group. We got share plan 1 and 2. Up to 10 friends can connect anywhere. Boom! I can't left this plan. I can't left this plan. The postpaid plan, cause the data really strong. Don't dig it down. Don't dig it down. Don't dig it down. Smart Belize. Don't dig it down. 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 Don't dig it. Smart, bringing people together.
Belize's location is responsible for the amazing biodiversity that we find here, including quite a few endemic species that are found nowhere else in the world.
In fact, 60% of our country still remains forested. It's part of our history, it's part of our heritage, it's part of our culture.
business has to be a long-term thing, and it has to feed into the environment. So we truly believe that without a strong country, you can never have a strong company.
This is going to be a good night for croc catchers.
Good evening. Welcome to News 5 Live for Friday, January 5th. I am Carla Ayers Musa. Tonight, the BSCFA and BSI have yet to officially sign an agreement, despite members of the Belize Sugarcane Farmers Association accepting the terms of the latest proposal on Thursday. The BSCFA informed its members late this evening that the official document sent by ASR BSI reportedly contained language that was not initially agreed upon. ASR then sent a letter to the Prime Minister clarifying that there was an error on its part and a follow-up agreement would be sent. So tonight, there is still no signed document between the two parties. The cane farmers accepted 4 proposals, including a 2-year agreement without a rollover clause. Additional costs will be investigated in the first 3 months, with the government covering them during that period. The final steps involve reviewing the language of the official document before signing. News 5's Hipólito Novello has the latest.
The impasse between BSI and the Belize Sugarcane Farmers Association, BSCFA, is over. After days of intense negotiations, a chaotic scene on the Philip Golson Highway, and after tires were set on fire across the road, cane farmers agreed to the latest proposal on Thursday evening. Today, farmers are satisfied and see this as another victory against ASR BSI. Chairman of BSCFA's Finance Committee, Javier Kame, says 4 proposals were accepted.
The agreement is a 2-year term agreement without any rollover clause. It's a 2-year agreement. On the side, the other request from our membership was met as a commitment from the government, which is the implementation of the Commission of Inquiry immediately or within the first 30 days from today. And the next one is that if they would advocate or approach Teeth and Lyle for us to sign an agreement with Teeth and Lyle, and if that doesn't materialize and we don't get our premium next year, there is a commitment of the government to assist the BSCFA with an amount of up to $1 million in fertilizers. That is basically the 4 compromises. There is a condition on the costs, the additional costs, which was one of the most difficult points in contention, and it was agreed that it will not be charged to the BSCFA. It will be paid by the government of Belize in the first 3 months, and during which time an investigation will be done to justify if it is a charge that it merits to be included in the agreement. And if it is, it will be included after the 3 months.
And if the government fails to help the BSCFA get a fair trade premium payment this year and provides them with $1 million, does that then mean that the issue of the fair trade premium payment will be put to rest?
I wouldn't put it that way. The BSCFA is a very strong organization, and we are embarked in seeking other ways of funding the organization. So we have that year to work with, and we will work with that, and we will ensure that when that time comes, if we don't have again a letter of announcement, we will have other sources of funding.
And with that, the impasse between the farmers and the miller has been resolved for the term of this agreement. It's been a challenging road for the BSCFA to get to this point, and according to Keme, the government played a crucial role.
We had tried since 2015, different ways, even mediation, and it hadn't worked. I would even say that it had failed up to today, because the condition of not less than 3 years on behalf of BSI was never agreed by them. So they were not letting go on the 3 years. So I don't know what pressure the government implemented for them to agree to the 2 years, but that is why I've always said that when our Prime Minister says that he can't do anything to solve this issue, I didn't agree, because I know that he has the authority, that something can be done.
And if nothing was done, the farmers are ready to ramp up their industrial actions. Now, the final step for the BSCFA is to ensure that the official document contains appropriate and satisfactory language before they sign it.
Once we get the information tomorrow, or the draft agreement, we'll be sending it to our lawyer, because we need that all the words within that are covered, that will not haunt us in the next day or the next year. So we'll be sending it to our lawyer, and once our lawyer gives the blessing to it, then we'll be prepared to make a signature to it.
According to the Vice Chairman of BSCFA's Committee of Management, Alfredo Ortega, the sacrifices made to get to this point were worth it.
The farmers were very happy that at least we got something that can make us work, that can make the farmer work. And the sentiment out there of the farmers, they are very happy that the sacrifice that they have done for these days were really good. We get at least something out of nothing, and the plan is to move forward, and we will continue with our vigil today until tomorrow that we have a signed agreement. Then from there, we move on.
Reporting for News 5, Hipólito Novello.
Before an agreement was reached, attorneys for BSI sent a letter to Elvis Reyes, chairman of the BSCFA, threatening the association with a lawsuit over BSI's economic losses. In the letter, Senior Counsel Godfrey Smith of Marine Parade Chambers LLP says that, quote, "The illegal blockade of the Philip Golson Highway has prevented cane farmers and sugarcane associations from delivering sugarcane to BSI's mill and is causing substantial economic loss. These losses increase with each additional hour and day the BSCFA's illegal blockade continues." End quote. Smith tells the BSCFA to desist from any illegal actions to minimize its liability. Responding to the letter was BSCFA's Vice Chairman Alfredo Ortega, who described the letter as an intimidation tactic.
We received that letter that was sent to us, and that only shows another way of intimidation to members of the BSCFA. We saw the letter. I think Mizuni have sent it to our lawyer so that she can review. We haven't got any response from her as yet, but I do believe that that letter is only a letter of intimidation, because we didn't block BSI. We didn't block no way. What was done here was very simple, and it was not in what they have placed in their letter. Reducing or trying to stop the trucks from going to BSI. Nothing like that. It was only to send a message to our government that enough is enough, and we want them to react so that we get into what we have get today. It has nothing to do with BSI. So I don't see why is it that they brought out this letter of intimidation. I will use that word of intimidation, on which that is their tactics that they have done always.
And another winner in the sugar impasse is the Belize Police Department. During the intense negotiations and heightened emotions that resulted in the burning of tires on the highway, there were no incidents. The police were able to keep the peace even when cane farmers temporarily prevented Agriculture Minister Jose Mai from leaving the Sirte compound. On Thursday night, Commissioner of Police Chester Williams was recognized by cane farmers for his support. The BSCFA also acknowledged all the other groups and unions who lent their support.
We got the support of many other groups, especially the leaders from Toledo that sent out a letter, sent out a release demonstrating their support to the cane farmers. We had the teachers from Corozal branch sending their press release from Orinjoak and all the others group that have sent their press release supporting us. And believe me you, because of those support, we managed to get this victory. And as like Mr. Marcos said, hasta la victoria. And we reached to the victory. Thanks to the Almighty God. And thanks to all of those brothers that are at home but supporting us in one way or the other. Thanks to the media houses that have been here with us, supporting our cause and passing the message to the Belizean public to understand what is going on here with us. We really thank each and every one for this hard support that you have demonstrated to us in one way or the other. We know that there were many times that we feel frustrated, but nevertheless, because of the support and because of the support of the farmers, that gave us the energy to reach where we are.
The United Democratic Party remains critical of the Briceño administration amid the outcome of the deadlock between the Belize Sugarcane Farmers Association and BSI. While a 3-month timeline has been fixed for a number of steps to be taken, including the completion of all studies and inquiries, the UDP is not convinced that this is the end of the stalemate between the Cañeros and the miller. In fact, the opposition is on record equally criticizing the manner in which the entire ordeal was handled. Late this evening, the leader of the opposition dropped by our office to share his party's position on the latest outcome.
Unfortunately, that is not a break in the impasse. That is merely putting not even a band-aid, I would say a transparent tape that we can all see through on a gaping wound, to be practical, if you want to be realistic. This idea that in 3 months they are going to complete all studies, all inquiries, all analysis in order to arrive at a final determination is, for lack of a better term, hogwash. Because here we are 3 years later, where the PUP had 13 years in opposition to come up with the solutions. The BSCFA, according to Chairman Fred Ortega, believed in the PUP. They said they voted for the PUP quite explicitly. And Fred Ortega himself says, we don't believe anything Johnny Briceño says. He's a complete disappointment. They told us they would do marketing for the sugar industry. They would do this, as we say in Belize City, hardies and brodies. All types of promises they made to the Cañeros, and they have delivered nothing. So for us to believe that, yes, in 3 months, what happens in 3 months? The municipal elections happens in 3 months. So all this is a futile attempt to buy time to try to get past the municipal elections, and then at the cost of who? At the cost of the Belizean taxpayers. Another $1 million to one association, when we have outstanding bills from increments, frozen increments, pensions that still can't be paid on time.
Notwithstanding what appears to be a positive outcome for the Belize Sugarcane Farmers Association, opposition leader Shine Barrow says that it's difficult to share in the joy of the BSCFA because it will be short-lived.
We have been going through the same thing every crop, and now I feel no solace. I can't feel happy for the Caneros because we'll be back at square one in 3 months. I guarantee you within 3 months there will be no inquiry completed. There will be no analysis, no data, no nothing. All they will do is come back and put the cost on the taxpayers.
The chairman of the BSCFA was rather explicit in criticizing the way how this has been handled by the Briceño administration. Did you foresee this? Notwithstanding the fact that Mr. Ortega himself said that he voted and the Caneros voted in favor of the ruling party.
The entire country feels the way that Mr. Ortega feels. You will see on March 6th, the entire country is completely disappointed. All of those that voted for the People's United Party voted for Briceño, and it had to be some UDPs that voted for them. Many independents voted for them. Many people had so much hope. But Briceño and the PUP are con artists. They have scammed Belize. And again, this is not 12 months into the administration, 6 months into administration. We're talking 3 years. And they have only disappointed. And again, when Fred Ortega, who tells you that he supported the PUP, that is his prime minister, and what a shameful performance has happened, you have to believe him.
And coming up, an elderly man is knocked down in Corozal town. We'll have more details when we come back.
Hello, friends. I'm Dr. Bob Roberts with another 60-second sermon from God's Word. The Bible says there is one God and one mediator between God and man, the man Christ Jesus. Recently, a Belizean pastor friend was visiting with me, and I took him to meet a friend at a cellular telephone business. The friend gave him a cell phone. While the cell phone was in perfect condition, you could make no calls because it had not been activated. When my friend returned to Belize, he immediately had the telephone activated and began making calls. You see, the phone without being activated by the Belize Telephone Company was useless. It was activation by the telephone company that made the difference. I have thought of my friend often since he got his phone activated. God has put within every man the ability to communicate with Him. However, to communicate with God, you must get your prayer life activated. How do you do this? You do this by believing in Jesus Christ, God's Son, as your Savior. Through Him, we are able to have direct access to God's throne. This is what the Bible means when it says, "For there is one God and one mediator between God and men, the man Jesus Christ." Let me invite you to come to Christ today and activate your prayer life in order to communicate with your God. Today's 60-second sermon has been presented by Christian Foundations of Faith in cooperation with the Baptist churches in your area.
Your Prime Minister and government have successfully brokered an agreement between the cane farmers and BSI ASR, ending the impasse in the industry. No aggression, no tear gas, no batons, no bullets or bloodshed, no distractions from people who talk way too much. Just mutual respect, good faith, confidence in our people, and the understanding that we are all in this together. This is governance for the people. This is your government at work.
As we bid farewell to 2023, let's take a moment to celebrate the incredible milestones that have continued to transform Belize City into a thriving and inclusive community. This year, the Belize City Council set ambitious goals across the board, and we're proud to announce that we've made remarkable progress. When it comes to physical infrastructure, our goal was to complete 90 streets within Belize City. And guess what? We've already conquered more than 80% of that target. The Holy Emmanuel Community Rehabilitation Project is revitalizing our neighborhoods, and we've successfully eliminated the obstacles that the London bridges once presented. But it's not just about the roads we travel. It's about the community we've built. Under the leadership of Mayor Bernard Wagner, social infrastructure has flourished, fostering economic development that empowers local businesses. The Downtown Super Sales, launched in 2018, has generated a whopping $5.6 million for our talented local vendors this year. And let's not forget the Accelerator Program. So far, over 140 entrepreneurs received invaluable assistance, and an impressive 80% are still thriving in business today. This year, we introduced community festivals, creating vibrant spaces for over 100 participating businesses. 6 festivals later, our city is alive with culture, commerce, and community spirit. As always, our commitment to youth involvement is unwavering. The Youth Shadow Council, the Child Advisory Body, and engagement in summer programs continue to shape the leaders of tomorrow. And let's not forget our new Student Hub, launched this year, a haven for learning and collaboration developed by your Belize City Council. Looking ahead to 2024, we're excited to build on our successes and introduce new services that will make the lives of our residents even better. Brace yourselves for smart city enhancements featuring the e-transit pilot project, with e-buses and e-taxis, modern bus stops, and a user-friendly mobile app that will transform your daily commute. We're investing in a new, modern parking facility downtown, and we're launching the official Belize City app, allowing you to easily access your property tax statements, trade license statements, and more. In addition, 2024 will see the rehabilitation of Complex Park, basketball court, and football field for all to enjoy. Belize City, let's step into 2024 with enthusiasm and determination. Together, we'll continue to shape a city we're proud to call home. Cheers to progress, to community, and an even brighter future. Cheers to more in 2024. Your Belize City Council. Always about the people.
As of today, Belizeans will no longer have to go through the Commissioner of Police to obtain gun licenses. Instead, they will go through a control board. The Firearms and Ammunition Control Board officially replaced the Commissioner of Police as the singular authority in the issuing of firearm licenses in late 2023 and met for the first time on Thursday. The new board consists of CEO of the Ministry of Home Affairs and New Growth Industries, Sharol Kar-Saldivar, Magistrate Manon Dennison, and Superintendent of Police Clement Cacho. The powers and functions of this board include receiving, screening, and processing firearm applications, receiving and investigating complaints, and conducting reviews of the issuance and denials of licenses, among other duties. The board seeks to, quote, transform how the government of Belize regulates the sale, purchase, importation, exportation, transshipment, disposal, possession, and use of firearms and ammunition, end quote. The board promises transparency, consistency, accountability, and control. A family from Corozal town is hoping for the best for their elderly loved one who was knocked down on Thursday afternoon in that municipality. 93-year-old Robert Carter is unconscious at the Carl Huchner Memorial Hospital after he suffered head injuries in the accident. Carter, reports say, was trying to make his way across Fifth Avenue when a vehicle knocked him down. It's a location where many accidents have happened before, according to Carter's son, Anthony Carter. He is praying for his dad's recovery, but making an appeal for some traffic measures to be put in place at the location he calls a blind curve.
Yesterday, about 10 minutes past 1, I was at my little booth that I sell herbs, and I heard a bang. When I got and peep out, I saw the patient on the ground with the vehicle over him. Well, not completely over him, but partially over him. When I noticed it's my father, so we tried to retrieve him and put him on. But we understand that we can't move the patient, but then people insisted that we could, that the vehicle should not move, only the patient could move. Well, good thing the police came in time and they assisted us in taking the patient to the hospital. We had a little bit of delay with the ambulance, but we do okay with the police assistance. Okay. Yes.
So how is he doing now? Where is he?
Well, he's in, I think, stable condition and kind of critical at the same time. So I think you have to do at the Carl H. Yeah, here at Carl H. Kushner, you know, you have to take some more scans and see what's wrong with him. Many people get hit down at that same place because you have a blind curve, a monument at the corner of the lane. So I think what we need there is a little stoplight at least, make the vehicle have a waiting time.
Or a speed bump.
Or a speed bump. I think the driver, up to what I understand, the people saw that the driver came to the stop. You look on the right-hand side, nobody was coming, but the patient was about to cross. Yes, but he stopped one side, and then the driver looked on the left-hand side afterwards, and since nothing is coming on the right nor the left, by the time she looked back to the right to take off, it's because the pedestrian was already in the way. So then she hit him.
So your father suffered what, head injury?
Yes, head injury. It's a trauma, very dangerous. He bled in his head, full up of blood. So had to
he's
take
not
him.
talking?
No, he's in coma right now. So
what are the doctors saying?
They say you have to take another scan and again about in 4 days' time. So they drained him last night, but they still have to take another scan and see how much more they have to do on him again.
Another of Carter's sons, Eddie, says that it's unfortunate that the person who knocked down his father is a close friend of the family. Eddie Carter told News 5 that the husband of the woman who caused the accident has reached out to offer help, but that is something that the Carter family will have to decide on as a unit. But while this will take time, Anthony Carter says the bills are racking up.
The late husband called me and told me that he saw what happened.
He was there?
He wasn't there, but he went there afterwards to see his wife, right? And he told me that he saw what happened, right? So in that case, now he told me that if we need any assistance, he's agreed to assist us. But I just can't accept something just like that because I need to consult my family, right? I just can't just jump and do something on my own because it's not only me. I know the family very well, okay, right? We are very close, but the thing is, an accident is an accident. And in that case, we need to reach to the point to see what will come out of it.
You still want some police action?
Well, the difference is that in that case now, the family have to come together and say what next.
Your family?
Yes, my family. I just can't jump on my own and say me one.
The aggregate number of homicides recorded in 2023 stood at 85 at the end of the year. It's a figure that the Belize Police Department and the Ministry of Home Affairs are equally proud of, the least murders on record since 2006. According to Commissioner of Police Chester Williams, it has been his objective since assuming command of the department several years ago.
Since I became commissioner, this has always been my goal, to see the murder count dip below 100. And it had caused me many sleepless nights, trying to figure out what next can I do, how best can I do this or whatever. What strategy can I employ to try and positively impact the murder rate. And for the first time, it happened. We came close in 2020 when we had 103. That year I actually believed that we were going to achieve it, but just like this year, at the end, we had a spike. And that took us over the 100 digit. And then in last year we had 113, which again was still reasonably close compared to previous years where we were in the 130s, 140s, right? So we have seen a tremendous dip. But again, policing is very complex, especially in these in the era we're living in, because criminals have become more sophisticated in how they do their business.
While acknowledging a marked reduction in the number of murders that took place last year, the leader of the opposition was sure to advise that government shouldn't get ahead of itself, since this achievement simply marks the beginning of a concerted effort to keep violent crimes at a minimum.
I am happy that moderate improvements are being made because we have to keep everything in context. The statistics reduced drastically in 2020. We went down to 102. During the UDP administration, we were at 99. I believe that was the lowest. We had a drastic drop in 2013 from 2012. So again, while I am happy that we are making moderate statistical improvements, I would encourage the Minister of Police, the Commissioner of Police, and the Prime Minister not to get ahead of themselves, because there's a lot of work to do. I always take my hat off to the Belize Police Department and all of the hard-working police officers that we have that do their best to serve and protect us, but there is a lot of work to do so that we can have the systematic overhaul that we need, so that we can not just have 15 less murders than we had in the lowest period during the UDP era, but to have a complete, drastic reversal, downward trend when it comes to murder. So there's a lot of work left to be done.
And after the break, new political movement enters the municipal race in Belize City. But first, here's the weather update with data from the Belize Met Service.
Where you going, bruh? Now, who they stress you out again, Namule?
Boy, I don't believe I the fool again.
Again?
But I mess up this time for
what you do
real,
this
for
time?
real,
Look
for
here.
real. You don't really want to know?
Yes.
I want here.
Can't make it a big deal.
We
Sean,
know attack.
I know how you going now.
Oh, man.
You really want to know?
Yeah?
Take my plan and I give her. I take my plan and put it in a name.
Wait, so tell me something. You still pay for this plan?
Yeah. But hear this.
This plan, I can't left this plan. Smart Belize. This plan, I can't left this plan, yeah. This plan, I can't left this plan. Postpaid plan. This plan, I can't left this plan. Smart Belize, it's unlimited data. Smart choice plan can light up your day. Postpaid with eSIM, make everything better. Just visit Smart Showrooms today. Boom! I can't left this plan. I can't left this plan. Can't left this plan. I can't left this plan. Affordable for everyone. I can't left this plan. The postpaid plan, cause the data really strong.
You know why? Listen, hey, for the best post and prepaid. You know that smart catch,
my bad. Wrong commercial.
She could left me for another man. The truth, once I have my plan, once I have my smart plus plan, I no worry cause the data strong. I know when the bleed, that's all I need. And you could tell me where you are, but I know I left this plan. Smart have the best services. We post your plan have everything, so you could talk and text unlimited. Come set up your group. We got share plan 1 and 2. Up to 10 friends can connect anywhere. Boom! I can't left this plan. I can't left this plan. The postpaid plan, cause the data really strong. Don't dig it down, don't dig it down, don't dig it down. Smart Belize. Don't dig it down, 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 don't dig it. Smart, bringing people together.
While some people talk and talk and talk and never do anything, your government has ensured that students from 9 secondary schools in Belize have access to free education, including books, uniforms, and healthy meals. That's a total of 3,166 students. And in this new school year, thousands more will benefit from free education in 12 additional secondary schools. That's real progress. This is governance for the people. This is your government at work.
Political parties often come and go during election season, and candidates who form unified movements outside of the traditional two-party system are yet to emerge successful on the municipal and national stages. But that hasn't deterred aspiring politicians who are seeking change without having to conform to the ideals of the established parties from forming their own movement. One such organization is the newly formed People's Democratic Movement. The PDM recently introduced its municipal slate that will be vying for the seats at City Hall on March 6th. News 5's Isani Caetano reports.
We have Mr. Freeman Gongora at the head table. Freeman, very good. We have Miss Marcella Main. She's a businesswoman and a former educator. We also have Mr. Gary Matos, a small businessman. We have Ms. Alicia Egan, young, ready, willing, and able. We have Mr. Cornelio Day, Mr. Day. If you have any familiarity with Plaza and Plaza Taxi Stand, you will know Mr. Day. He's the wise man in this movement. He's the sage in this movement. And so, as was pointed out earlier, we want you to give this group of candidates of the People's Democratic Movement a chance, and you will see what Mr. Day and all the other candidates are worth.
There's a new roster of candidates set to run for office in the upcoming municipals, one that does not pride itself as a political party. Collectively known as the People's Democratic Movement, the team, led by Esteban Pereira Sr., is made up of 11 aspirants. Together, they have their eyes on City Hall.
We are gathered here because we want to make Belize a better place for all Belizeans. Because in my mind, I believe that all Belizeans are equal. There's nothing about one Belizean being more equal than the other. This is not Animal Farm. This is reality, and we must face reality, and we must work together to make Belize a free country, free for everyone, so that we can live a better life.
Improving the quality of life for all residents of Belize City is its mission statement. For the PDM to achieve this objective, its candidates must be successful at the polls on March 6th. Undoubtedly, they will face stiff competition from the mass parties and their well-established practice of political handouts.
My appeal today is to say that this will not end with the mass parties. It's a culture of the mass parties. But when you look at the arithmetic of it, when you look at the arithmetic of the voter population, 20% will vote blue any way and any day. 20% will vote red any way and any day. It is the 60% whom are the independent voters, the working class people of this nation, that can and will make the transformation.
And the People's Democratic Movement is hoping that the masses of independent voters, those who fall within the 60%, will make informed decisions about who they want to manage the city's affairs going forward.
The portfolio that I am assigned to is human settlement, public health, playground, and park. It's your choice. You have the choice and the chance to create a change. You want a renewed Belize, a renewed city, a renewed change, and give us a chance. Vote PDM.
Perhaps the most recognizable of them all is Philip Father Henry. He has made a name for himself as an advocate for road traffic safety in and around the old capital. Henry has also worked under both major political parties and says he's not impressed with what he has seen.
I want to ask all homes in the city to give us respect. We will be coming to campaign to your direction, but give us the chance to explain what we can do. We are newcomers, and I think that you should give us a chance to work with us because we are newcomers. We are far much better than the both political party who continue numerously coming to your home and telling you lie.
PDM's mayoral candidate, Esteban Pereira Sr., affirmed the organization's pledge that it is here to work for everyone and not just a select few.
Our commitment to this movement is that we have love for the common people in this country, and we're going to treat everybody as equal. Nobody will be above each other. And we are hoping that the love we give out to these people, the love will return, and we will be able to be successful in this movement to serve the Belizean people.
Reporting for News 5, I am Isani Cayetano.
A by-election will be held in the northern community of Concepcion on January 14th, following the resignation of a village councillor who stepped down to challenge the leadership of the council. Despite attempts to rescind the resignation, the Attorney General has advised the Elections and Boundaries Department to proceed with the nomination and by-election process. UDP party leader Shine Barrow commented on the AG's decision to advise in favor of the by-election.
There is a constant attempt to insert politics into the election and boundaries, and this was no difference. The councillor that ran against our UDP chairman in Concepcion, congratulations to him, resigned in order to run as chair. They want to claim after they lost, a month and change later, that, oh well, she didn't have to resign to run. That's not our problem, she resigned. A resignation is a resignation, whether you had to or you didn't have to, you resign. So the election and boundaries, when they set a by-election date, they were quite in order. They were following the law. There was a resignation which caused a vacancy, and now we need to fill that vacancy. So now the political operatives come and say, no, we rescind the resignation, no by-election. Again, fair and corruption, but more so fair. But we are not afraid. We want a by-election because we will win the by-election next Sunday, because the people of this country have had enough of the People's United Party, and they know that. So they don't want a by-election. So what you see in Concepcion, in Corozal Southwest, is the People's United Party attempting to avert a by-election. But I am thankful that the Attorney General gave the only advice that he could possibly give, which is that the seat is vacant. There was a resignation. You can't rescind a resignation. Whether you were supposed to resign or not, or you had to, it doesn't matter. So we are pleased that the Attorney General gave sound advice, and this is not turned into another Portico scandal where legal advice and this legal advice and that legal advice comes and nobody follows senses.
And when we return, Belize receives over $3 million for climate resilience initiatives.
Belize's location is responsible for the amazing biodiversity that we find here, including quite a few endemic species that are found nowhere else in the world.
In fact, 60% of our country still remains forested. It's part of our history, it's part of our heritage, it's part of our culture.
Business has to be a long-term thing, and it has to feed into the environment. Do we truly believe that without a strong country, you can never have a strong company?
This is going to be a good night for croc catchers.
Let's take a journey through the core functions of the Social Security Board. It all starts with registering as an insured person, employer, or self-employed individual. Sign up for a portal account to manage your Social Security information online. Just provide accurate information and click Create. This will give you access to a range of services and benefits. Next, your contribution, along with investments and other income, are collected and distributed into 3 funds. This ensures that the SSB fund is securely utilized to support various benefit programs. The SSB is committed to providing essential benefits such as sickness, maternity, injury, and pension. These benefits are paid out to eligible individuals as a part of the Social Security coverage. We help you navigate through life's challenges with financial security. Annual surplus accumulates to grow the fund each year. This surplus is invested into various industries, contributing to the growth and development of our nation. With each passing year, the fund continues to grow due to the annual surplus and interest revenue earned from prudent investments. This surplus, along with reserves, helps to bolster the SSB fund and provide a safety net for those in need. We've arrived at the end of our journey to better understanding how the SSB works. We remain committed to serving you and building a secure future for all Belizeans.
Former UDP leader and Prime Minister Dean Barrow confessed he knew there was corruption by ministers serving in his cabinet, and he also accepted some responsibility.
I also have to accept responsibility for the one with the thief and the one with the misbehavior and so on.
The former Prime Minister said he might not have had hard evidence that would meet legal standards, but he did have word-of-mouth proof of corruption by those ministers.
I didn't have proof to a legal standard. I had proof in the sense that people used to come to me, why the minister, so on, so I said, why you caution there and you try to warn there and say someone you know, end up in jail, you know, but people would have wanted more. People say, you must have known where to go. Why never fire the whole court?
Presumably, some of those same former ministers are currently seeking high positions in our party and positioning themselves to run for office once again.
And these are the same UDPs who want your votes for municipal elections. Not now, not ever again for this UDP set.
Apply now for an undergraduate degree in animation, film or journalism at the Caribbean School of Media and Communication at the University of the West Indies, Mona. For more information, visit www.mona.uwi.edu/apply.
Man, ever since everybody heard the next big thing there, the excitement can't done. Everyone wants to know more.
More?
Yes, please. I tell them, say hello to unlimited data, only with Digi. You can now enjoy unlimited data with Digi's postpaid plans, like the Plus plan, which just got cheaper, I might add. The Elite and Max plans also have unlimited data. You can have from 5 to 7 people on your shared plan, with all having unlimited data 24/7. I tell you, big things. If you're not signed up already, I suggest you sign up now. Make the switch to Digi. The next big thing there, go sign up for your unlimited data. Unlimited is unlimited. Never worry about data again.
Watch The Truth of God with Pastor Gino Jennings of the First Church of Our Lord Jesus Christ every Sunday morning at 8 a.m. exclusively on Channel 5 Belize. The Truth of God with Pastor Gino Jennings every Sunday at 8 a.m. on Channel 5 Belize.
Purchasing illegal lotteries is an unnecessary risk that is not worth it. Even if you have a winning number, you run the risk of not collecting your prize. You also risk being arrested without a warrant, imprisoned for up to 2 years, and fined up to $20,000. When buying your bolito or jackpot, ensure you buy from an official source. Official sub-agents should have official tickets that feature the Belize Government Lotteries Limited logo, all information about your purchase, a QR code, and more information about the Belize Government Lotteries Limited on the back of the ticket. If your ticket is returned at pen on paper, it's an illegal lottery ticket. If your ticket does not have the official logo or a QR code on it, it's an illegal lottery ticket. Buy smart, buy with confidence, and buy official lotteries only.
Previously hailed as a trailblazer for climate activism in the region, Belize has made history yet again by being one of the first government entities to oversee and manage funds from the Green Climate Fund. Additionally, over $3,150,000 Belize dollars was handed over to the government of Belize to fund several climate resilience projects across the nation. Here's News 5's Brittany Gordon.
While Belize has always been a champion in climate change initiatives, the time has come for climate resilience, which involves being able to successfully cope and manage impacts of climate change and preventing those impacts from getting worse. In November 2023, world leaders convened at the United Nations Climate Change Conference, where Belize was able to negotiate further funding for such endeavors.
Our main aim is now to be more independent, because a lot of times, well, not a lot of times, automatically, Belize qualifies for $1 million on an annual basis from GCF, which is under the Readiness Fund. But we do have a lot of problem to spend those monies because the accredited entities look at $1 million as small funds, as small monies, and then it's being cut into a lot of little projects. So it's a lot of work with limited or not too much of a good incentive for the accredited entities. Therefore, by the Ministry of Economic Development being able to implement the readiness, it will help because we can work faster and implement at a much faster rate.
We spoke with Dr. Osman Martinez, Chief Executive Officer for the Ministry of Economic Development, who told us about Belize's immediate plans for the grants, which included additional education programs and better equipment for the Met Service.
The main objective here is that the 3.15 $57 million Belize dollars, which is a grant that we are getting. It's not a loan, it's a grant. It will be covering three main components. Component number one is it will assist with the capacity building for the Met Office, and that includes training for the Met personnel in data analysis, instruments, maintenance, and installations. And there will also be opportunities for personnel at the Met Office to study for a master's degree for the electronic technicians in computer networking. And then component number two is purchasing of equipment for Met and NEMO office. So there will be, for example, computers that will definitely be purchased with these funds. And the third one is to develop and implement a multi-hazard early warning system and transition to impact BS forecasting, which will include public assessment and awareness before and after implementations, and multi-hazard system to warn people about potential floodings, heat, droughts in the Belize district.
Dr. Martinez stated that Belize has high hopes for future endeavors in which the ministry will be able to access greater funding for the country.
We have been practically accredited to manage the readiness funds, which is up to $1 million per year. Okay. However, we will continue to enhance our accreditation process so that by the time we are fully accredited, we will be able to develop and implement projects between 20 to $50 million.
Brittany Gordon for News 5.
January is observed as Cervical Cancer Awareness Month, and while the numbers show that quite a lot of women are falling victim to the disease, the Belize Cancer Society has been offering education about the risks of cervical and other forms of preventative cancer. Cervical cancer is caused by the human papilloma virus, but there are two main factors that can help prevent women from developing the disease in the first place: sexual behavior and vaccination. News 5 sat down today with President of the Belize Cancer Society, Laura Tucker Longsworth, to discuss where Belizean women are in heeding that advice.
We have done a lot, both at the Ministry of Health level and at our own level in terms of education and interventions in terms of getting people screened and so on. The human papilloma virus is prevented not only by our own behavior, but also, importantly, by vaccinations. And we have the power to take steps to reduce the likelihood of becoming infected with the HPV vaccine. So we ourselves have to look in terms of our partnerships, because the more partners that you interact with, the more likely you are to become infected. And so that is as a woman and a man, because men and women are the ones who move it back and forth. Unfortunately, women suffer greatly from their cervical cancers and all the changes in the cervix. And we do have to remember that in Belize we have really an aggressive HPV virus that circulates. When they do the testing of women's cervices, the cervix, they find the high-grade ones, the one that cause cancer. And then, of course, our men also are vulnerable. It causes cancer of the penis, oral cancers, and stuff like that. So we are both men and women equally responsible for each other. And I keep saying, let's take care of each other. So I know the vaccination rate fell during over COVID period. Let me start with vaccination because that's prevention. It fell over the COVID period, but a recent workshop held late last year with the ministry and partners revealed that the numbers have increased dramatically because schools are in full swing, of course. And then, of course, the whole issue of age range. So then that is interesting because you ask, well, are young people being affected? Are middle-aged people being affected? What they want, what the strategy is it says that by the time you're 35, you should have had at least one test and another one by the time you're 45. So it goes across the board. But our problem that we're finding in Belize, we're having young people in their 20s with advanced cervical cancers. But they don't want you to start getting tested too early. So they say for Belize, probably about 25, between 22 and 25 years old. And if something is happening, they'll catch it.
Only this week, a distraught mother took to Facebook to speak of the plight her 9-year-old child was enduring because she had no access to bone marrow treatment. While bone marrow treatment is advanced specialized care that is available in other countries, Longsworth says there is a general hospital in Merida, Mexico, where children can seek help through the Ministry of Health. It's a service that dates back to around 2010 and worked well for years, but one that Longsworth says might be taking on a new dimension now that the MOU has expired.
In Belize, we have oncologists. We have Dr. Ellsworth Grant, who works out of the Belize Cancer Center in Dangriga, and we have our resident oncologist at the Carl Huschner Memorial Hospital, Dr. Yakab. They are adult oncologists. And so back then, the Belize Cancer Center in Dangriga worked with the government of Belize, and along with a very passionate pediatric oncologist out of the hospital Horan in Merida, who had been treating Belizean children and reaching out to us to really give them more support. And that's way back then. In 2015, the Social Security Board worked with the then CEO of the Ministry of Health, along with the BCS, the Cancer Society, and the Cancer Center in Dangriga, and approached the Social Security Board. And they gave us like a three-year grant or so to help the children to get to treatment immediately. That worked beautifully. To date, that service, as far as I know, is still in place. The children, what happens when we get a referral, those children we make an appointment with the Horan Hospital, and those children they go over there. They get a lot of support. It's not well known in the country that children can be referred to the hospital Horan. To date, the Ministry of Health still is paying those bills for those children at the hospital Horan. We don't know what 2024 will bring because there are going to be new arrangements in place, and we have not been informed officially as yet. In that, the lady that you referred to and you shared the information with me, that is not an uncommon situation. Her child needed bone marrow biopsy, and so where would she get that money from? There's none of us in the country, the Belize Cancer Society, we certainly do not have those kinds of funds. Those funds go into the thousands and $20,000, $30,000, $40,000, $50,000. And even now, there's a child in a private hospital in Merida. And we have been trying, between ourselves and the Cancer Center in Dangriga, trying to help the mother to pay the bills. The child is doing pretty good right now, coming out, and will transition to the Horan to continue care. It needs, I feel for that mother because she is not alone in that dilemma. Where the system can take you is up to chemotherapy and radiation and surgery for those children at Horan. When you need a bone marrow biopsy, you have to go to a specialized center, and you've got to be supported. Either you get a sponsor, the institution sponsors you, and so on. And this is the kind of thing that as a country we need to do. We can no longer leave our people wandering all over the place crying for help. Where our children are concerned, we have to make sure that they get to care, cancer care. They deserve it. It's a human right for these children to survive. That MOU has expired. So then the Ministry of Health is now embarking on a similar kind of arrangement. We have not been informed as to what that arrangement is to be.
And while Longsworth has spent much of her life in nursing care and helping cancer patients to access treatment and care, she is also known in this country as the immediate past Speaker of the House of Representatives. Many will remember her for encouraging members of Parliament to use parliamentary language when speaking in the House, particularly when the proceedings got testy. It's been just over 3 years since Longsworth vacated the seat and was succeeded by Valerie Woods as the current House Speaker. So today, when we had a chance to ask her what she thinks of Woods' performance, she said nothing short of amazing, both in terms of keeping things in line and in terms of modernizing the system in place.
I think Speaker Woods is doing an amazing job. She has taken on, I think she understands clearly behind the scenes. Most people do understand that the National Assembly needs a lot of reform. And she embraced that, and she's doing it. I think that this year we'll see House meetings happening out of the George Wright Center. And I was the happiest. They invited me to the launch of that initiative. I was very proud to be there because it's something that I really felt passionately about, that our National Assembly should be our pride and joy, and our operations need to improve. The environment needs to be improved. We need a good library and so on. And Speaker Woods and the President of the Senate, they are moving. They're getting things done in a way that has not been done for a while. And so I applaud them and congratulate them. And I look forward to the end results. Yes. It's difficult, by the way, even politically, dealing with all the members of the House. Good for her. Good for her. Because all I can say, I understand. I do understand. We do the best that we can do when you're in that seat, and it's never popular.
Up next, in this week's episode of The Bright Side, a year of change, exploring weight loss.
I'm connected. Yo.
I'm connected.
We're connected.
Create the perfect broadband bundle that fits your style with Smart Connect. With the Junior Bundle, get 50% off your national calls and up to 6 gigabytes of data at no extra cost. Get postpaid added for an additional cost of only $25 with the Prime bundle. Stay connected with unlimited smart-to-smart calls plus 6,300 megabytes of data and free international minutes. For the family, pay $28.13 more and get the Binge Watchers bundle with Netflix. This bundle gives you 4 profiles with unlimited streaming on multiple devices. Visit a showroom near you to sign up and personalize your own bundle combination with Smart Connect. Smart, bringing people together.
Belize's location is responsible for the amazing biodiversity that we find here, including quite a few endemic species that are found nowhere else in the world.
In fact, 60% of our country still remains forested. It's part of our history, it's part of our heritage, it's part of our culture.
Business has to be a long-term thing, and it has to feed into the environment. Do we truly believe that without a strong country, you can never have a strong company?
This is going to be a good night for croc catchers.
As the new year unfolds, the air is buzzing with the energy of fresh beginnings, and amid the myriad of resolutions, a resounding commitment to health and fitness takes center stage. Gym memberships see an increase, and conscious choices toward nutritious consumption becomes the norm. It marks the inception of a transformative mindset, a collective endeavor to seize control of one's well-being. Yet, within the ebb and flow of resolution fervor, we encountered a remarkable individual who not only embraced this mindset shift, but steadfastly adhered to it. Interestingly, our paths first crossed during our last Look on the Bright Side last year. He shared his determination to prioritize his health, embarking on a journey to the gym. Intrigued by his commitment, we set out in search of him, eager to reveal his progress 1 year later. Here's that story.
I'm grateful for life, for my health, going to the gym now, being able to put food on my table for Christmas. Many people won't be able to do that Christmas, sadly. So I'm grateful for all of that.
That was a year ago, when we stumbled upon Stephen Mazaya in the hustle and bustle on Albert Street. It was there that he candidly shared his endeavor to hit the gym and take control of his physical well-being. Without a health scare or a watershed, Mazaya simply felt a need for change. It was his moment to take charge of his health, and that's exactly what he did.
I mean, it's not easy, believe me. I've been through it all. I take lick pain, damage from my foot, all kind of thing on this box. But through it all, a year later, 65 pounds less. I feel great. Two clothes size down from XXX to XL. So it does feel good.
Mazaya is a tech-savvy entrepreneur, but he shared how he discovered it was time to take a few steps in the right direction.
I work from home, so I don't do not much. I wake up about 9, 10 every day. And I just sit down on my computer, do my work. And for years I said I want to go to the gym, I want to get in shape. I said, you know what? I stepped on the scale and I said, ooh, 296. I said, wow, that's almost 300 pounds. I said, I got to do something about it. And I started to feel a bit sick, low again. In the evening, I feel like, oh, I said, no. So I called Burn Box. I said, what is the price to join the gym? Got the price. The following week, it was like the weekend, I started the gym the first, like around the 7th of December.
A year of commitment later, Mosiah has the results to show.
I didn't notice it on my own. I don't know. But people started telling me, oh, you look good, you're losing weight, you know. I said, well, I didn't see it as much until I noticed my clothes were like huge. Like this is a XL. I had XXX, XXX before this, so I had to change even my gym clothes because they were too big. They were getting big. And when I looked at my picture, I took a picture just as I came the first day. I took a picture in the mirror upstairs. And when I noticed, when I compared the picture between last year and this year, it's a big difference. I could see my stomach was really huge. I had a big stomach. It's not easy, even though it's much easier than last year, of course. I could do so much thing I couldn't do before, push-ups. I could jump on this box this high before I could even jump as box as low as that. I have to jump on that, right? But my trainer, he taught me well. He was patient, you know, although he got cursed out a couple of times, but he knows me and I know him now, right? And so I'm grateful for that, you know, and like I said, it's not easy, still not easy.
The gym enthusiast shared that the biggest push for him was not only his own health, but seeing his loved ones fall sick to underlying health conditions. He knew that he wouldn't be far behind if he didn't make a change.
I looked around and I saw many people I know, friends. I even had a friend that I lost to COVID. He was a diabetic. He just died over a weekend. When I saw him like Friday, Monday he died. You know, and I knew he had bad diabetes, and I know that I was almost 300 pounds. I know that my lifestyle I'm living at that time will definitely I either get diabetes, high blood pressure, or some other thing, you know, both or all of them at once. So I said, you know what, I'm chasing the money, yes, but what about my health?
Mosiah believes that his weight loss reversed the onset of early diabetes and any other underlying conditions that he may have been predisposed to genetically. He shares that this can be done for anyone, but it's a decision that they have to make.
I know that I think I reversed my early onset of diabetes because I was feeling very sick, and I had a big belly. That belly, that's just the worst part, because all the visceral fat, that's bad for your organs, and so I was developing some serious insulin resistance, so to speak. They will have to look at themselves seriously and say, what do I want, or how, if you have kids, do I want to live a life to see my kids or grandchildren, or I want to have a quality life, you know? Also, not just live a life, but live a quality life, you know, where you are not always sick. You know, some people are alive, but medication they have to stock up upon, take pills every day, injection, you know, that's not really a way to live. So I'll advise anybody, your body will tell you when it needs help. And if you ignore it, you'll get the worst part of it.
So what's the new goal? Mosiah's all about building those muscles now. He's hitting the weights for that killer tone and even dragging his buddies to the gym with him. Maybe next year, we'll check back on them too. Looking on the bright side, I'm Sabrina Daly.
And that's the news. Tonight's broadcast is available at channel5belize.com on both our Facebook and YouTube. I'm Carla Ayers Musa. From all of us here at News 5, have a happy and safe weekend. Good night.